Somebody better call the police because I think I just committed murder live on ABC radio. And this is the reason why so many people want the ABC defunded. And I say that as the boss of ABC, being my uncle. I think he should, I like him personally. I think he should lose his job. I think you should lose your job. I think Australia, if we voted, if you want to talk about democracy, the vast majority of Australians would love to see you get defunded. Why are you against democracy?
Well, I'm not sure where the vast majority comes from, but...
Today I got to work to a media request from the ABC of all places. They were asking if I'm willing to join Raf Epstein on the morning show to discuss the Free Palestine Party, which I happily obliged. Which, I get the sense, and you tell me what you think after watching the entire interview, that they regret the conversation. And if you agree, go to defundabc.com or scan the QR code to join the thousands of Australians calling to end this taxpayer-funded rot.
Mornings with Raf Epstein.
Victoria's the last state that votes in this way. The question is, could you be tricked when you go to vote at the election at the end of November? The YouTuber, online reporter, provocateur, however you term him, Avi Yemini, he says he's going to start up a Free Palestine Party at the state election. It seems the aim is to redirect left-wing voters to parties on the right. It is completely legal. It's called vote harvesting. Just keep in mind, the Electoral Commission, they don't make judgments on whether or not party names are misleading. Avi Yemini, good morning. Thanks for talking to us.
Good morning, Raf. How you doing?
Are you trying to trick voters?
What do you mean trick voters? We're trying to free Palestine. What's confusing about it?
I think for a lot of people, when they hear the words Free Palestine, they are advocating against what Israel is doing. That's often a left-wing cause. I think you mean something very different. Is that trickery?
We're saying we want to free Palestine from Hamas. I think probably the story for you, Raf, should be why so many people in Australia, so many leftists are outraged by this one. What do they want? Do they not think the first step to freeing Palestine is getting rid of Hamas?
If I voted for your Free Palestine Party, where would my vote end up? Who will you be directing preferences towards? The socialists?
Certainly not. They don't want to free Palestine. To parties that have committed and have shown that they want to really free Palestine from Hamas, which would be One Nation. Absolutely.
So isn't that tricking people? That phrase, I'm not debating what you think should happen in Gaza. What I'm asking you about, that slogan is Free Palestine.
Raf, are you telling me that left-wing voters are that dull that they will vote on a slogan? Is that what you're admitting to here?
You call them useful idiots, I think. Do you stand by that?
Absolutely. I think that it's not just the left. I think there are three groups now in the political spectrum. There's the far left, the actual far right, and Islamic communities that will vote just on a slogan. Yeah, they are useful idiots. So we might as well put their vote to use.
Are you saying that people in the Muslim community are idiots?
I'm saying those that will come to Australia and vote on one issue about a conflict on the other side of the world and for their internal hate for Jews, yes, most certainly fit that category.
So you don't think it's misleading?
What's interesting, Raf, were you upset when the Sackdown Andrews party ran last election and funneled their votes to Daniel Andrews? Did you talk about it then? Why are you so upset now?
I talk about this issue at every election.
Did you talk about the Sackdown Andrews party?
I talk about this issue at every election. You can try to ask me questions, Avi. The way this program works, I invite you on. I ask you questions. You can say whatever you like, but I'm not going to get into you asking me questions. But you can respond to my
I'll take that as an answer.
Like.
Of course you didn't, because it didn't suit you. Now you're upset about it. You're the same person that brings on Sarah Schwartz every second day as a representative of the Jewish community, where she's absolutely not. And that's
not true. But can I get back to why
she's not a representative? What's not true in that, Raf? Which part of that's not true?
Can I get back to why I invited
Sarah Schwartz doesn't represent anyone in the Jewish community.
Avi, I'll fade you down. If you want to have a debate about things that you say that I did that did not happen, then I'm not going to continue the interview. If you want to talk about the group voting ticket rules, I'm happy to keep going.
Talk about
yeah?
Let's go.
So it's completely legal what you are doing. My question to you is, are you trying to get into politics by being dishonest?
I'm not trying to get into politics. I'm trying to take back our system. The voting will of the people in Victoria actually shows us that One Nation should hold many more seats and they'll win if this group voting ticket didn't exist. So we're actually levelling the playing field. It's a strategy that your side of politics have mastered for years, and suddenly you guys are upset. You don't have Raf, come on. There's a reason why Jews in Victoria tune in to 3AW, to Tom Elliott, because they need somebody to stand for them. In the last 2 years, they need somebody that actually supports them. You're not that guy. You have chosen a side. You're with Sarah Schwartz and the Palestinian movement.
So I'm not impugning your motives, so I'd appreciate it if you don't impugn mine. But again, you can answer my questions however you like. It's an entirely legal strategy. Do you think it's a good system? Someone else is setting up the Save the Environment Party. She's anti-lockdown again. Nothing wrong with doing it. No. Do you think it's a good system?
I think it's a bad system. I think it's a bad system.
So why exploit it?
Well, while it exists, we're going to play... You know that saying, don't hate the player, hate the game? I hate the game. I don't know why you're upset at me when Sackdown Andrews ran it, Labor Party ran it last election. What's his name? Drury, the preference whisperer, has been playing this system for years. Why is animal justice got a seat in Parliament? Because of this clown show. So scrap the system. Otherwise, what we're going to do is we're going to run parties based on slogans, and unfortunately, there's a certain side of politics that are dull and they will vote based on slogans. And if not, I don't know what you guys are
trying to attract the votes of people who you think are stupid.
Absolutely. I think their votes are being wasted.
Right. Will you run for this party? Do you want to run for One Nation? Who do you really want to run for or with?
I don't want to run for anyone, but I'm going to have to run in this election under the Free Palestine Party, and I'll decide. I might run... I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. We'll decide.
Okay, so would you prefer to run as a One Nation candidate or a Free Palestine candidate? What's your preference?
I don't want to run at all. I love my job. I love my job, Brav. Holding people accountable, holding the ABC.
Can I press you on that, Avi? If One Nation came to you and said, we really want you at the top of our ticket somewhere, would you talk to them about that?
Why are you assuming they haven't done so already? I'm not interested in running for politics. I'm doing this now to make a point because you haven't done your job all these years. Suddenly you are doing your job. And this is the reason why so many people want the ABC defunded. And I say that as the boss of ABC, being my uncle. I think I like him personally. I think he should lose his job. I think you should lose your job. I think Australia, if we voted, if you want to talk about democracy, the vast majority of Australians would love to see you get defunded. Why are you against democracy?
Well, I'm not sure where the vast majority comes from. But, so you just said something there, Avi, that I really want to try and pick up on.
Sure.
You said, I've assumed One Nation haven't spoken to you. Have One Nation asked you to run with them?
I talk to One Nation all the time. No, they haven't asked me to run with them. But if I wanted to run with One Nation, if I asked them, I'm sure they would happily accept me as a candidate. But I'm not going to. I don't want to. I'm the leader of the fastest growing political party in Australia. We've got over 1,000 members. We've had to shut it off already. We're registering today. We're very excited, and we're very excited about the fact that leftists are so outraged that they might end up cancelling this group voting ticket. And I hope you give me credit at the end of it, because all it took was me starting a party that plays on the silliness of...
Like a lot of politicians, Avi, a lot of people claim credit for when things happen and you're allowed to do that.
Why are you talking to me today, Raf? Why are you talking to me today?
Well, because it's newsworthy.
Exactly.
Do you make any money out of forming the party?
No, I lose money. It costs $840, mate.
Well, I'm just not sure what the donation rules are at the moment, right?
We're not taking donations. I'm not going to be campaigning. I don't need to campaign to Free Palestine. They do it every week in the city. That's our campaign. I might use Marine Faruqi in Parliament to help our campaigns, or Fatima Payman, all these clowns that have made it their single issue objective over the last 2 years to harass Jews. The same people that you platform every single day on your show.
Well, I don't platform people. I invite them on, and it doesn't happen every single day. But like I said before, Avi, I get to ask the question.
Why don't you have actual Jews on your show that represent the Jewish community instead of Sarah Schwartz, who represents nobody but the Palestinian movement? Why do you pretend that she is a representative of our community?
Avi, didn't invite you on to talk about different Jewish groups in our society.
To be fair, she's probably not a Jewish group.
Been on at various times, and to be honest, none of them are on that often. But thank you for talking to us this morning.
You're welcome, Raf. Do better.
Avi Yemini, I described him as an online provocateur. If you hadn't heard of him, you got some sense of him then. The point there is that what he's doing is entirely within the rules. And he is right.
Thanks, Avi, for your time.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Bye.
Defund the ABC. If you enjoyed that, make sure to like, comment, but most importantly, share it far and wide, because unfortunately for the ABC, even though we pay for it, nobody tunes in. So it's up to you guys to spread this far and wide, and then head to defundabc.com or scan the QR code on your screen to add your name to the petition to the thousands of Australians that say we should defund the ABC now. Stop wasting our taxpayer dollars. defundabc.com.